Hi guys, Matty Brooks here from Adventure Plus Outdoor Education. I'm going to start doing a series of videos on equipment that we regularly use as a resource for both outdoor education teachers and students who are out there in this lockdown at the moment. Lovely fun games that it is. First thing we're going to look at today is tents. We're going to look at a variety of tents. So there's a couple of different varieties of tents out there. The one we'll look at today predominantly the dome style tent or the tube style tent that we see out there with fiberglass poles or aluminium poles. Alright, so first thing we need to look at when we're considering camping is our campsite selection. So if you can see behind me here, we've got a nice little grassed area. And there's a couple of things we need to take into consideration before we stick our tent up. The first, probably most important, is to make sure that we've got a nice sheltered area sort of away from the wind and people and all the rest of it. Probably even more important than that is that we don't have any overhead trees. The last thing we want is for a branch to break off and land on top of your tent. That's really bad news. So we have a look at the trees, we make sure there's nothing overhanging the top of us, we make sure that nothing's leaning and is going to fall in the direction we are. All right, and then we're going to have a look at the actual site where we're going for starters. So one of the things here, if you look in the background here, you'll see a low area behind me. All right, so we're looking at the drainage. We're making sure that if it does rain overnight, all right, we're in Victoria here, it's the land of 4 seasons generally in one day. We want to make sure that if it does rain overnight, the water's not going to run down into where our tent is. All right. Once we've got that, we're going to have a look at the ground when we're going to put our tent up. You know, we're going to make sure there's no sticks, all right, and stones and things that are going to poke up through the tent, and most importantly, into our back at the end of the night. That would just make things horribly uncomfortable. Once we've established we've got no trees above us, we've got no sticks and stones, all right, we're not on an ant's nest because that'd be really embarrassing. We're going to set ourselves up for the tent. All right. Today I've got a 3-person tent. It's a Wurley 3 One Planet tent. Pretty common in the outdoor ed programs and very similar to a lot of the tents out there. Have a look at the instructions on these. They're written on the sides, so it's really easy to work out how to put it up. All right, so it's got the easy version on there. Have a look at the instructions of your tent. Most tents are pretty easy. Don't try and put them up the first time in the dark. All right, that's really embarrassing. All right. When you've got your tent, take it out of the bag. Now, all right, take it out of the bag. Should be rolled up nice and neat and secure. I'm going to pull it out of the bag. All right, and most people go, oh, forget the bag. Please don't do that. Take care of that bag. Tuck it away in a tent. All right, tuck it away, in your backpack or in the tent, so you've got it handy when you need it next. Same thing goes with the pole bag. So we're going to unroll it. All right, you've got 3 parts of the tent generally. All right, you've got your poles and your pegs. You've got your inner of the tent, which we're going to put out shortly, and you've got your fly, which is the waterproof part of the tent, and the important bit to stop you from getting wet, and also to keep you warm at the end of the day too. All right, so put them aside. Make sure they're secure. Don't let them blow away in the wind. Frequently I'll see students, I'll just put that bag over there and off it goes in the wind and we never see it ever again. So take care of that bit. You need these bits to pack it up later on and move on to the next campsite. Gonna get the pegs out. First thing I'm gonna do, all right, it's Wurley 3. Generally you're gonna peg down your tent, all right? On this tent we've got the corners and the sides, all right? No need to immediately with this one unless it's really windy. I've selected my site, so I'm gonna put this out nice and flat on the ground. Put it down, and then I'm gonna take my poles out. All right, so the aluminium poles, pretty simple. There's fiberglass and aluminium. In this tent, most good tents, quality tents, are aluminium these days. They'll just slot together nice and easy. You don't need to force them. They're attached together, the strings there together, and you let them slot together nice and easy. Let it slot right together. Right, in this tent there's 3 poles. There's 2 that go across and 1 that goes down the centre. Alright, so I'm going to straighten them out, putting all my tents out, my poles out, nice and wide. Very, very easy. Lock them together, no need to force them. Be gentle with them. And then my centre pole, which is just a short little section. Once I've got that out, I'm going to put those poles into the tent. Now with your poles, be gentle with them, all right? Don't force them. They don't need to be forced. They're very simple to go together. And slot my poles into the end. And very gently, again, bend it and clip in on the other side. Same thing across the other direction. Alright, my tent's ready to go. Now I can actually clip the tent into it as I go up. Very easily. With the with the Wurley 3, we don't clip the middle one, we can leave that out. We're just going to actually clip it all up. Alright, so I've done that. Next what I'm going to do, my cross pole. It's going to go through here, through the middle, and across the tent. Now some tents, these poles will actually be slipped up inside the actual tent itself. Not so much of an issue with this one. Once we've got it, through the middle, we're going to put it in each side and clip up my pole up to the centre. So I've now got my tent ready to move around. I can pick that up and move it if I need to, if I'm not happy with the location. Alright. Next part to the equation is my fly and then the pegs. Okay, so the fly, this is the waterproof part that keeps you dry, alright? And it also keeps you warm, alright? And it keeps you from the mosquitoes and the bugs and the critters. Well, if we keep that zipped up, we won't have those issues. I'm going to put the fly over the tent. You can do this, you've got 2 people to help. Alright, we're in isolation here, I'm by myself. I'm going to put it across. And then I'm going to clip this one. Whoop, where is it? And clip my little hooks that are in the corner here. I'm going to take them down into the actual corner of the tent. All right, I'm going to continue that the whole way around. Now the important part, one of the important parts are pegs. Now you see a variety of pegs out there. You see aluminium ones and you'll see steel ones. Alloy nice and light, but they bend very easily. All right, a small tents like this generally come with very thin pegs and they will bend very easily. That's what part of the selection of the campsites, making sure you've got ground that you can actually put pegs into. Putting a tent up on rocks, doesn't help. All right. Putting the pegs in though obviously keeps your tent where you want it to stay, all right? But it also helps you stay dry. So you see on the side here, this one, I'm going to take this one, I'm going to peg it out away from the inner part of the tent, all right? That makes the water run off, all right? And I stay dry. My entrance, I'm going to do the same thing. Now if you're lucky, you've got ground like this one, where I can peg it in, and push it down. Nice and easy. I'll do that the whole way around. I've got my tent ready to go. Alright, now, you see here is my zip on the entrance. I can open that zip up all the way up, and then I roll it, and most tents will have some form of way to secure the door and keep it open. So in this case, it's got a little stretchy thing and a clip which I lock over the top, and that keeps my tent nice and wide and open. All right, now a couple of things to go with tents is when we're not in the tent, or when we're not in the tent, or when we are in the tent at night, we always keep it zipped up. All right, Australia's full of creepy crawlies and slithery things. We want to keep them out of the tent, obviously. The other thing is we have a no shoe rule. All right, now whether you do or not, it's up to you, but I like to keep my tent nice and clean on the inside, and this helps out with my sleeping at night because I'm not getting gritty and sandy and dirty and all the stuff that I want inside. I have sleeping mat to put down to give me insulation, so this keeps me a gap from the floor, so I'm not sleeping straight on the ground and getting really cold. All right, and then I've got my sleeping bag on top of that roll mat. All right, these are the things we generally want to keep in the tent. If we're lucky enough to have enough space, so you've only got 2 people in a 3-person tent, there's a 3-person tent, all right, you can put your gear out, all right, in the tent. All right, you can store it in there with you. If not, we can put it in the annex to the tent, all right, and keep it under cover, all right. We keep it held up tight so that we don't get any creepy crawlies in there. All right, as I was saying before, take your bags, all right, tuck them away in a pocket in the tent, or tuck them away in your backpack for storage for later. All right, keep spare pegs with you if you've got any spare pegs. When we're packing it up, it's pretty much a reverse of what I've just done, putting it up. All right, a couple of things to take into account though. Before you pack it up, clean out the inside. All right, clean out, shake it out, and get all the stuff out of it before you actually pack it away. This will make it more pleasant for you in the coming days when you're using it. Also, all right, if you're lucky enough to be staying in one spot and you're not packing up and running away in the morning, leave your tent out for a little while and let it dry. A lot nicer putting up a tent the next afternoon to dry out and packing down a wet, cold, horrible one in the morning. Sometimes we don't have a choice, we pack it up and we move on to the next site. But if you've got the option, leave it out for a little while to dry out. All right, so I'm going to pull this one down very quickly, very easily. So, the reverse of before. As before, I pull my pegs out and I'm going to fold this up nice and neat. All right, store it away to the side, ready to roll up. All right, I'll do the same thing ready here. With some tents, if you're lucky, you can open them up and you can shake them out. Take all the ugly bits out, the sand and dirt and stuff, and we store them away. When you've rolled up your tent, try and roll up your tent nice and neat and pack it away. When you get home, if you can, find a space, take your tent out, hang it up and dry it out. All right? Tents, they're material, they'll get moldy and disgusting and smelly. And the next time you take them out, they'll be covered in black spots and mold. Not very nice to camp in, all right, and not very good for your health either. I want to thank you very, very much. Just thank you for your time, and hope you have a great little camp out at home if you're getting a chance to do that. Take the tent out, put it up in the backyard. It'll give you that great little feeling of at least being out in nature, all right, and not being locked up in the house. Enjoy. Thanks.